So I guess so you started to recognize your talent here, I guess, at Stratford, 9th, 10th grade, balling out of control a little bit. So how did others start to treat you at the talent, I guess?
Well, I mean, we still haven't we're not gonna get much success yet. You know, when I'm telling you this about my high school part of it, it's not much success coming. It's just me personally knowing that I was probably progressing and being gifted talently more than those around me. But my 9th grade year, we played the first 9 games, I guess, freshman year. Then I flunked off. I was ineligible at the end of the first semester by a point or two. Just some things that we laugh at still today because we know that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But playing around and being immature, I was a 14-year-old 9th grader. You know, it's just a whole different world back then. I just wasn't coming from middle school into high school, and then you from the, you know, like I said, we're in the inner city, we're in those projects, and then it's just a lot of things that goes on when you begin in those teenage years. And I kind of fell off my studies a little bit, but I was still growing, you know, and I was still going to the community centers and playing all the basketball I was supposed to, but I wasn't doing it when I was supposed to do on the campus. And for whatever reason, I got on track my sophomore year and was eligible my whole sophomore year. And that just happened to be the year with one of the best basketball teams ever in our city, White Creek High School, in 1990-91 with David Vaughn, which is still, you know, probably the best player ever come from our city. If people really sit down and think about it, he's the reason we are where we are today. And the first game ever in the Jamboree, we had opportunity to play them. I don't know why we got to play them. We one of the youngest teams ever, and they one of the best. And I had an opportunity to catch it off the rim and get a dunk in that game on him and his team, and which at that time you just have to see the atmosphere of basketball.
I can imagine.
And it blew my mind too, you know, and I just couldn't believe that it happened. It was my first 2 points ever in a varsity game. I hadn't scored any. I hadn't even played a varsity game, and to do that on your first, you know what I mean? It just changed the way I thought about basketball, and the reception I got from my classmates and everybody that following Monday in school, or make anybody want to turn it up a notch. Yeah, and like I said, I took basketball, took the liking to basketball in ways that most people wouldn't, and it also caused me to fail in my studies again. So I was eligible my whole sophomore year, ineligible to beginning on my junior year. You see what I'm saying? And then I'm one of the highly touted kids in the city and in the state, getting highly All-American nominations, that type of thing. But now when it's time to perform, you're not even eligible. I get eligible my junior year. The second semester of my junior year, now I'm eligible. Now I'm back. I'm grown almost a little bit. I'm mature. I'm a basketball player. This is my time to go make up for lost time. First 2 games back, I probably had double best games I probably had in my high school career. And in that second game, I break my knee. And there you guys, as junior, and that was my last high school game. My second game coming back after being ineligible the first semester at Glencliff High School. In the first half, I still can see everything. And I came back and played in the second half with a broken leg because didn't really know at the time it was that bad. That was my last high school game. Last time I stepped foot on a high school campus. You know, so the story takes a lot of turns and little, before it gets to the part where we can celebrate a little bit. But hey, the journey less traveled is what it is. And we here today to talk about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I guess, so tell me, I guess it's kind of went through all those obstacles. Like, how did you manage to kind of, I guess, after you go through it or try to at least manage staying clear of maybe what you might experience from the previous time? Or what did you learn from that experience that you can maybe share with
resiliency?
somebody?
I mean, first of all, it's just being resilient.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the things you're going to go through, you don't control. So once I started realizing the things I could control, I had to handle, then excuses stop, and then you stop looking for blame. You just have to keep being resilient when you have the opportunities to be resilient. And I just, for some reason, he kept putting me in opportunities to be resilient. You know, even though I wasn't playing high school regularly, I always played AAU and travel ball. So I went all across the Southeast and did all my basketball that I didn't get to do in high school in AAU. So, you know, thanks to Coach Tom Kirby and the Music City Players, Music City Stars organization way back then for giving me that opportunity when I wasn't even eligible in school. So how I'm even one of the selections on your team when it come AAU time. So like I said, I was always given those opportunities to show and show up and show out. And like I say, for some reason I did what I was supposed to do at the moment of truth. And you know, some people, you know, get in those tough situations and they don't thrive. I've just been able to thrive, and my adrenaline gets going a different way when I know all chips are on the table. And in every situation, like with school, again, like I say, I dropped out of high school after breaking my knee or whatever. But right as that happened, I my knee gets healthy right enough time for the AAU season. I end up having one of my best AAU seasons that you could have. We end up playing in the nationals, and things start happening. I get attention from summer ball in less than 3 or 4 weekends, and I couldn't get in the whole 2 years. So it just changed my. I was lucky. I was resilient. I was there. I was blessed more than anything. More than anything, just to keep being someone that others trusted to be someone that they thought could take them over the hump. You know what I mean? When I couldn't even get it done in school. So when I kept seeing the people believing in me, the belief in oneself starts to grow too. Now, you can't be naive the whole way. You can't keep smacking these people in the face, or those opportunities fade. And after that AAU summer right there, I came back. I still didn't get my grades together because I was so far behind and things like that. But going into that senior year, when I seen my friends all eligible and kind of seeing lesser, and this is no disrespect to anybody at all. It's just I felt I was the best kid in the city, and I think everybody knew that going into my senior year, and I never had a chance to present that. So the chip that I had on my shoulder of sitting out and watching, and that hurt. Like it really, it hit me some type of way, knowing that these guys had done everything they supposed to present and get the opportunity, and you're supposed to be the best. And not only you're not there to present yourself for you and yours, you can't even help them get the attention they need when the attention is supposed to be there. Back just like when you were a sophomore, when David Vaughn introduced you to high school basketball on a high level and allowed you to prepare yourself forward. So it's things that when you look back like, man, maybe my journey had to be what it was for me to recognize it to be in the position I am today, but it was definitely not the road that I would wish on anybody else. It's definitely the road less traveled, but it just was a lot of little wake-up calls, and me could go left or could go right. And with that dad and mom being in your life the whole time throughout all the process, like I said, it's whatever that backbone is allows you to have to think before you make decisions. And there you go. You at some point you'll get them right. Yeah. And man, somebody was looking out for me because a friend of mine on that AAU team that we're talking about named Matt Coble, still a good friend of mine today, helps me coaching with the kids and everything, still with what we do. And he went to the visit. He went down to Northeast Mississippi, which is why I ended up going to junior college. And he was going there on the visit itself, but he already had a scholarship to go Division I if he wanted to. He was just testing the water. For some reason, he went and told the coach, hey, if you're looking for a big man or you're looking for someone that can change your program, I got a kid in Nashville. And he was talking about me, and we had only played AAU together. You see what I'm saying? And I hadn't even been eligible. So look at the UA in Mississippi taking a chance. It's just a whole lot of dynamics that, again, go in my favor. And he came up to see me, and I wasn't in school my senior year, so he came up, I think it was like in March, April. And I wasn't even in school. I hadn't been in school in 6 months. And coach called my mom. My mom got in touch with me, told me I need to be at school by lunchtime. And when I tell you the rest is history, the rest is history. We did what we had to do. Whatever happened. He offered me the scholarship to go to junior college. And at that moment, you would think everything is gravy and it's time to go. Well, I still hadn't taken my GED because I still hadn't been to school. So this is April. I got to be in school in August. I guess here it comes August. They coming to pick me up, and it's time to go JUCO, and I still hadn't taken the GED test. You see what I'm saying? This is the immaturity part. This is the part of it where, yeah, you're resilient, but this opportunity about to slide right here at the last moment. Last GED test available, I get a chance to take it. The Friday before the Monday, Tuesday, I had to be at school. Take it with a blind faith, not knowing the results until 2 months later, but I'm already in school. They coming to get me, enroll me, I'm ready to go. Scores come back flying colors, and we never look back. So like I said, I would say for you to start that whole question, resiliency. I mean, I've probably had a chance to be more resilient than most in the opportunity that have been given to me. You know what I mean? So when opportunity presents itself, you just got to be there to either to take it head on or give your best effort and live with the results.